Right, let's do this. So lights, camera, action. So on this week's show, we have one of the greatest DJs to bless up two turntables, and also was the DMC world champion back in 1992. We have the one and the only DJ QBert. How you doing, my man?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Listen,
What up? What up?
Absolute honor, my man, for you to come on board and do this interview.
Oh, my pleasure's all mine. Thank you.
And it's kind of off the spur moment. We've literally have had seconds to sort this out. So it's been quite kind of like you text me, let's do this, and now we're here. So yeah, it's
all meant to be.
It's great for you to be on board. So, and the first thing I always start off with the interviews is a massive shout out to all the key workers out there, all the doctors, nurses, all key workers battling this virus, trying to keep us safe. You know, we got to give them a massive round of applause.
I gotta say, my friend works in the hospital, and I asked him how's the situation in the hospital. And he said that the regular people are dying, like older people and people that are already sick, and as soon as they die, they write down that they died of the COVID virus to make the numbers up. So it's a strange conspiracy thing going on. I don't know.
Q, listen, first two questions I always ask is, whereabouts are you from, and what was it like growing up as a youngster?
I'm from San Francisco, so growing up was kind of like, you know, you're lost. I was lost. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and then I found hip hop in the middle of high school, and then I was pretty happy. And I found
you got your dog on board as well.
Yeah, a fire truck or ambulance comes by, they'll bark. Get him, Ducky, get him, get him, get him, get him, Ducky, get him.
Is it right? Woo! Woo!
Woo!
Woo! he seems a bit calmer now.
Yeah. He gets camera shot.
So yeah, Q. So what was it like growing up? Well, I mean, you're the same age as me. I'm pretty sure you've hit your nifty 50s now.
Yes, it's very, very nifty. Yes.
So what was it like back where you was growing up? Was it quite kind of a tough place to grow up, or was it quite nice?
I'm in San Francisco, so it's a big population of everything. So I'm kind of on the outskirts of San Francisco, kind of like the outer rim. So there would be more like it's a lot of graffiti out here where I grew up. So I thought graffiti was just a normal thing, and so it was in my system to have, you know, everything graffitied out. Like my old studio when I was a kid, everything was graffitied out. It was just normal.
Yeah.
And a lot of crazy stuff.
And what music was you listening to growing up, like R&B, Motown, that kind of stuff?
Not at all. I used to like weird music from the 50s. It was like it was a one-eyed, one-horn flying purple people leader. You know, those kind of anything that had like where these guys were kind of like rapping a little bit. And then when actual rap came in like 78, I was about 7 years old, and I was like, oh my God, this is like the most craziest music. The Rapper's Delight, and then Funk You Up by Sequence, all that Sugar Hill Gang stuff. That was just like, oh man, this is the world I want to learn about.
Yeah, they was all game changers, weren't they? Rappers, Curtis Blow and all them kind of tracks.
Ooh, yeah. I didn't even know what it was. I was just trying to collect it or record it on the radio, and yeah, that was a good time.
And what kind of you could say element of hip hop was you rapping with? What come first? Was it the scratching, the DJ, and was you like a b-boy doing a bit of body popping and like, you know, Egyptian moves and all that?
I was definitely a tutter, and
oh, you was a tutter.
Sucked.
You was a tutter.
I sucked. Oh, I was the worst. I was a sucker. I sucked so bad, and but I loved doing it. But I just all these guys. Every time I jumped in the circle, there would always be these one guys go, and I was like, oh, forget this. I was like, never mind. So then I would dress like a b-boy, and I would go to all the b-boy jams, but I was just more of an observer at that time. Then I would try some graffiti. I would go around. I don't know if you ever see my tag. I love tagging and stuff.
I know. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, if you go on my Instagram at DJ QBert, you'll see me tagging on all kinds of stuff, and I love graffiti. And then I collected all the rapper stuff, and I got in trouble one time for tagging on a bank, and then the bank people, police officer came to my house and said, "Sir, did your son write this on the bank?" And my dad had to go to the bank and erase paint over the bank. And then so he wore a mask. He got a paper bag and cut the holes out of the paper bag and put it on his head and started painting the bank because he was embarrassed. But the weirdest thing is because of his body shape, people would drive by and say, "Hey Larry, how you doing? Why are you painting the bank?" They knew him. It was the weirdest thing. Even though he had that on his head,
with a paper bag, yeah, they still knew who it was.
They still knew who he was. I was like, what's going on here?
That's brilliant. And who was basically like inspiring you in the early days? Was it DJs like Grandmaster Flowers and Grandmaster Flash and Bambaataa and, you know, these incredible DJs?
I was more, I didn't know anything about hip hop. So it was more of like, I didn't even know the names of these guys. We heard Grandmaster Flash. When scratching really got heavy, it was UTFO. It was Mixmaster Ice. He was always doing different stuff on the records, and that's how we learned to be like, okay, you always got to do something different every time. So that was our first exposure. And of course, DST on Rocket. I didn't even know the name of the DJ. I just heard Rocket. I thought Herbie Hancock was scratching.
Yeah, DST was amazing.
Yeah, and then who else? That's about it, you know. And then when I first saw Mixmaster Mike, I grew up with Mixmaster Mike and went to middle school, maybe 7, 8 years old.
Was that
around the same time? And I didn't even know him. We just walked by, and I was like, "There's something strange about that guy." And then later in my high school years, I saw him again, and he was scratching, and he was like way ahead of everybody. He was already doing the DST scratches, and I was like, "Damn, that's dope." And so he was like one of my biggest influences as a beginner in 1985. He started like a half a year before I did.
Was that with the FM20 group?
Yeah, that came way later. That came like around 89 or 80. I'm sorry. Yeah, about 1990, around 1991.
And Q, can you remember like when you got your first decks and you know what decks were they and what mixer you had?
The first one, it was there was a store over here called Radio Shack, and we had they had two mixers, one with a fader, and I think it was like $75 or something, and then one without a fader, which was like $30 or $40. And we were like, damn, we can't afford that mixer. It's too expensive, $75. You know, let's just get the cheap one. And so we had no fader, and all we had to use was the up and down faders. And that's the reason why I scratch in reverse, hamster style, because it's the same movements as going up and down on the fader, on those faders.
And do you, as you set up your decks, do you do it that kind of Philly style? Like when I interviewed Cash Money the other week, I interviewed Cash Money, and he was telling me about the, you know, the way the decks were set up with the arm at the back.
Yeah, he's the first guy I ever saw have the turntables sideways, and I was like, damn, that's pretty cool because the arms are out of the way and the turntables are closer, and so we all copied Cash Money, and we have to give him. I don't know if he invented it or not, but I give him credit. He's the first person I see him do that. So everyone in the world does that now if you're scratching. Yeah,
Cash is a beast.
He's our first, like after Mixmaster Ice, it was like, check out this guy Cash Money and Jazzy Jeff. These guys are like, the Philly guys are taking over the world right now.
Yeah, proper beast on the decks.
Big time. It still is.
Yeah. And can you remember some of the early records you was cutting up on the Walls of Steel?
What year though? I would have to say when I first really started, it was oh man, I used it in the DMC competition forever. It was I mean, of course, you know, It's Time. What is that? Hashim,
yeah.
Alma Fish. Everyone scratched that. You have to.
Time.
Yeah, you had to do that. Rock bass, rock the bells, the basic stuff, I guess. Eric B and Rakim.
Yeah. And you know, record digging is a massive part of being a DJ. So, you know, whereabouts was you digging? Was you going to like jumble sales, charity shops, and like record shops?
Everything, garage sales, flea markets, you name it. Friends would just be like, hey, check out this record I got, would trade, you know. There was a lot of record stores in the neighborhood. I lived near the Mission, the Excelsior district, and there was a lot of all kind of record stores. They were everywhere.
And
so you just walk down the block, just get some records.
And this is one thing I was going to ask you actually. You know, like basically you go record digging and you find this really rare record, and this is before Serato. So, you know, you had to be careful with your records. You know, but you'd be cutting them up, but you didn't want to like, scratch them and put a big scratch down it. Was you quite careful with your records?
Ooh, yeah, definitely super careful with your records. Absolutely. That was the thing. And then you have, I guess, when you're first starting out, you're not careful with them, and so you get skips on them and all these little things, and you learn how to move the record backwards to unskip the skip.
Yeah,
A lot of things, yeah.
I was talking to friends of mine that used to do a lot of scratching as well, and they was telling me that they used to scratch it so much it used to wear down the actual record, so then they'd have to buy a new record where they'd be cutting it so much.
Yeah, I think I got like, I don't know, a dozen It's Time records. Are all like time.
Yeah, where it's like worn down a bit.
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny when a DJ uses those in a battle and they're really worn out. We would like, all the DJs would have like an inside laugh because it's so awesome. Like, yeah, he's been practicing. Or some people like, get some new records.
And did you another important thing about being a scratch DJ, I'm pretty sure, is having like a record feeder, because I remember back, you know, when you're DJing in the bedroom, they was dashing the records like on the floor. But did you have a record feeder where he'd hand you the record and you'd give him the record back?
No, what I did is I had a little box, and it hung on the side of my coffin. And so when I would do a fast routine, I would have my stack of records right here. I think maybe there was another box, and I would just put them and do the thing and put them right in the box. So they'd always be in order.
Wow.
Yeah, I would never have, you know, what if that record feeder's not around? You know, you got to feed him too. So it's like, let's do it yourself.
Yeah. So you was really kind of, you know, would you say you was a little bit OCD with it as well?
It's called being a savant. You know, like I never noticed it, but I don't know how to do jack shit but this scratching game. So it's like I was a savant on this stuff. So OCD, you name it. It's like that. My mind was like laser focused on just this thing alone, and maybe some video games and bike riding, but that's it. Everything else was like, forget everything else.
But in the UK, you know, we had some incredible DJs. I mean, out of London, you had like DJ Undercover, DJ.
Ooh, that's my boy, DJ Supreme.
Yeah, DJ Supreme, Cutmaster Swift, DJ Pogo. I mean, we had some
all my buddies. Those are all my homies. Yeah.
Yeah. So, would you say was Supreme like? Did you love the way he was scratching? Because he's a wicked style of scratching going on.
DJ Undercover, sir.
Wow.
DJ Supreme.
Yeah.
Man, I collected all this shit, doubles, everything, triples. Somebody would steal it, I would get another pair. Man, those guys I love those guys. I can't believe that they're my homies. You know, it's amazing. When I met them, I was like, holy shit, we nerd out on shit. And I was like, damn, I'm not the only savant.
Yeah, hijack of beast mode.
Hijack. Man, that shit was incredible, man. Incredible.
Yeah, absolutely wicked. And did you have any tricks? Did you used to put like coins on top of your needle to stop it from like jumping up and down on the records?
Yeah, you put the coins there and then they'll fall off. So you tape the coins, everything. You got to get the exact weight on the back, and you got to clean the needle, and you got to make sure the records aren't warped. And then you cut out your own slip mats with scissors and from record sleeves, and everything, man.
When I was interviewing Cash Money, we were saying like back in the day you couldn't buy slip mats, so we'd make our own slip mats, and he was brilliant at like making his own slip mats. Did you make your own slip mats as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. What we did, I found a great secret, is you get your record and you stick it on top of like some kind of felt, and you get a blade, and you go right around the record. That way it comes out super. The circle becomes extremely clean. Because before we would use the scissors, but if you use the scissors, everything's all like uneven.
Yeah, so that's a great little tip. And you know, it was all to do with like the thickness of the felt as well. If it was too thick, you was going to get the bounce on it.
Yeah, we used to try. We used to cut out T-shirts. We used to cut out like everything, curtains, you name it, until we got the exact right
curtains.
Yeah, my mom would be like, "Hey, what's up with the view?"
Hey, yeah, what's up with the view? Like, why is it so light in there? Oh, I've been cutting up.
Yeah, it's good for you. It's good for your health, man. You need the light.
And you know, Q, like mixers are a very, very important part of being a DJ. So did you have some favorite mixers?
At the time, like Newmark mixers were like the best mixers because they had this little switch on top, and they still never could duplicate that to this day. They were the best switches in the world, and it was like just a little movement and you could transform this little tiny line switch that was like, it was super good. And then later, I don't know who the frick lost their job, and then they started switching. Now the line switches are like, they're so long, they're like, dude, it's gonna take forever to click it. All you need is just like a tiny little bit. Why don't they do that? It's so simple. Like, hello, come on.
Yeah, just like a little tiny, like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, in 1992, you won the DMC World Championships.
Yeah.
And how did you feel?
So the year before that, I almost won the world competitions. It was against my boy DJ David from Germany, and I took second that year, and so it taught me to you got to really practice and don't take it for granted, because I took it for granted. I was like, I'm gonna win this shit if I have to practice. So I did a really sloppy job, and I thought I didn't. I don't think I can't even believe I took second. I should have took like freaking 1,000,000th place or something. But the next year I took it serious. We trained really hard, and luckily for us, it was me, Mixmaster Mike, and Apollo. We had a FM20 rap group, and we were like a DJ band. And then that year in '92, they said, hey, we have a new thing for the DMC. We're gonna let you have a team competition. And we were like, oh shit, we already got a DJ group thing. So we got lucky and won that one.
Yeah, yeah. And what was preparation? Was you practicing like 10 hours a day on the decks?
24 hours. We'll practice, and then while we're eating, we're thinking of the practice, and while we're sleeping, we're dreaming of the practice. We wake up and go to it. Like we're like boxers, that's all we did was just that. Like right before a battle, it was just training for at least the first 2 months, 3 months. We didn't do nothing but just fucking scratch and practice and juggle it. We took it really serious, like an athlete.
And because you're training so much, you're using your hands so much. Was there any kind of did your wrists and all that, was they kind of hurting where you was like cutting so much?
We were pretty liquid. We did a lot of a lot of water. We took care of our health, and the sweat, we were practicing, it kept us like how you call it, lubricated. Like we were just like we were like Bruce Lee, like water. Like we weren't even tripping off any pains or anything. And if we did like, all right, we're bored of this, we'll play a couple video games and then we'll get back to it. So it wasn't like a negative thing. It was like we're having so much freaking fun that there's absolutely no negative energy to hurt your body at all.
I suppose it's the same way as being like a B-boy or a B-girl, where you'd be prepared for battle, you'd battle, you'd do all these amazing moves, you'd probably injure yourself, but you wouldn't feel it because of the adrenaline kicking in.
It could be the adrenaline, or you're just having such a good time that it's like you're blessed with this beautiful creative energy from the universe that it's just healing you at the same time, possibly.
And was there any DJs that you feared?
What year though?
Yeah, good point. I mean, any year actually.
There's always great guys. Totally a lot of guys. Depends on what time, because then there's certain years where like, wow, that guy's great. I'm gonna practice hardcore to whoop his ass. And then they fall off, and it's like, what happened to that guy? It's like, So
how did you handle it, Q? Was you getting nervous in battle mode, or was you kind of just so focused that you were just in the zone, in the battle zone?
You know what? The more we practiced, the more confident we had. The more confidence we had. We were like, we'll fucking, man. It was just like,
you're gonna annihilate it.
We're gonna fucking destroy shit and have fun destroying shit because we got some new artillery. But if we don't practice, oh man, of course, yeah, getting me nervous. Like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? But we were so nerdy about it that we knew what every single DJ was doing, and we had all their tricks, and we had on top of that, we advanced it like another another step forward, and then we always thought, well, what if they're advancing it? So we're like, okay, let's then take it to the next step. And then after that, we fucking take it to the next step. They're like, what if they're advancing it 5 times beyond you? Like, fucking, let's go 10 times then, and another one just in case. So we were just like battle monsters.
Like pure beast mode.
Yeah, and we were inventing all kind of new shit as we were doing that, and it's just it's crazy. And we're everything, man, meditating, like everything to get the fucking new scratch out. We would freaking study everyone, just like how boxers study videotapes. We would do that, like, oh man, that guy sucked. Make sure we don't do that. Oh, that guy was dope. Let's do that and add that to this. What if we combine that with this? Boom, boom, boom. It was nerdism times 1 million, big time.
And Q, you know, to be original is such a, you know, difficult thing to do because, you know, there's so many people that have done different kind of techniques and all that, and scratch patterns. I mean, did you find it quite difficult to kind of to find new scratch routines?
You know, not really, because we were just like, okay, like we just had a weird imagination. Like, okay, if it's at that level now, what would it be like later? And then we would imagine that, and we'd be like, "Ooh, what if they did this, blah blah blah?" And then fucking, we would just practice that imagination. So it wasn't about like, what do we do now? It's not more about what do we do now. It's more like the evolution, like a flower is blossoming. Like, okay, where's it gonna go from there? Oh, it's probably gonna develop fucking petals or some shit. And later it's gonna fucking be a hummingbird that comes on it. And then what the fuck? There's another hummingbird. That fucking hummingbird gonna hump that hummingbird and gonna have fucking hummingbird babies. And those babies are gonna fucking whatever attack the fucking alligators, whatever. Just all kinds of weird imagination.
Well,
and we would make a scratch out of that.
That also filters down to the B-boys and the B-girls, because back in the day, you know, you do like a windmill and it was kind of, it looked absolutely fantastic. But I mean, nowadays, the windmills that are doing, they put their own kind of spin on it, you know, really quick and, you know.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, like if I was a B-boy, I'd be like, okay, that guy did a windmill. What are we going to advance on that? What if you did a windmill and you fucking jacked off at the same time? All right, what if you jacked off and you flicked the guy off at the same time? And then what if you had another guy come in and you both were fucking, I don't know, it's just like you could just, you know, it was more like a comedy thing, but at the same time, it was like, fuck, let's do that, you know?
let's do this, yeah. And
yes.
And Q, was there any kind of favorite battle records that you'd put into your performance? Was there any favorite key records?
They came from the UK. It was this guy Simon Harris. You ever heard of him?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, tell him I said what's up.
Oh, well, I'll tag him in on this interview.
Yeah, him, and then it was like, it's like, okay, what's the same with those records too? It's like, well, what's gonna come after? What if Simon Harris stops making records, which he did? And we're like, fuck, let's make our own records. So we took all the dope parts of the Simon Harris records and made it like, what if we just put all the sounds one after another together, boom, boom, boom. So they just go, hey, come on beat. And that Simon Harris records were like, hey, and then you'd wait a while, then another sound would come in, and then you wait another 20 hours, meow. And so it's like, we just like, hey, let's make a record. Let's evolve that and make it all the sounds on beat one after another. And it was very easy for us to scratch. And so that's another way of evolving stuff, not only within DJ routines, but within our tools too. So those records were pretty cool.
Yeah, cool. And how did you deal with, has it ever happened to you where you're in the middle of a set and suddenly like the needles jumped and it's like thrown you off your set? How do you cope with that?
Okay, as long as if you're dancing with it, you just got to bring it back on beat. Even if it's up, you just got to come back on, as long as it's on beat. No one will notice that much. So
you got to really kind of be tuned into it.
You just got to dance. As if you're dancing to it, you better make sure that beat stays with your dancing. That's all it is.
And is there any kind of advice that you can give, you know, up and coming DJs?
Just make your own rules. There's all these rules. There's no fucking rules. Make up your own rules. And then, well, you know, it's like a balance. It's like life, right? It's like, did the universe make everything, or are we making it? It's both. You know, it's like kind of like it's two symbiotic relationships that are opposite, but they live together. So it's like there is rules and there is no rules, which kind of makes the whole thing amazing. You know, so be original and just, you know, everyone is endowed with the superpower that the universe gave you. So God flows through every single one of us. So just use that superpower to make the world a better place. You know, whatever you do, even if it's not DJing, you know, you might go into DJing and be like, damn, I'd rather make a mixer, you know, so
And
use your superpower.
And what have been kind of the biggest highlights for you so far?
Every day I practice and I make up a new thing. I'm like, ooh, that's a highlight for me. It's ongoing. It's nonstop. The more I do stuff, the more the universe gives me something to put out there to make people happy. I think when I found out what makes me the most happiest, and it's just giving. When you give to make the world a better place or make heaven on earth, whatever it is, that's the most happiest for me, I guess. And that's a highlight.
Yeah, no,
it's a constant highlight. You know how it's like how do you get successful? It's like it's not even a point. It's a continuation of constantly doing it, constantly creating and making the world a better place constantly. Like, all right, that's done. Let's keep going. Let's not all celebrate on that little thing forever. Let's see what we can do next.
And Q, do you want to do a little bit of cutting on the decks? Do you want to fire the wheels of steels up, or?
Not really, but I'll try to.
It's up to you. You don't have to.
Yeah, well, see, from my problem is I gotta warm up. Like I can scratch. Yeah. I'll scratch right now, but my best is after like 30 minutes. I can kill it. I'll try. I'll show you. So we're just gonna freestyle right now. See what happens.
A little casual scratch.
Yeah. Let's see. So this is because I woke up right now. I haven't even practiced. This is my morning.
Your warm up.
This is my morning warm up right here. Okay, let's play a beat. Let's see what you got here. Can you hear that or no?
Yeah.
Shout out to Egyptian Lover.
Yes.
So I'm not even warmed up. I feel like
Wow.
Give me half an hour and I'll be in there. I
I'll
don't even have to look at the turntables.
I'll call you back.
You could.
No, honestly, absolutely mesmerized, Lim. And you know, you look so relaxed and happy and
no.
in tune.
When I'm relaxed, I'm not even looking. I'm just like right there. I was like kind of like, uh-oh, what am I doing? But now when I'm relaxed, I can just be like, I get to have a conversation with you.
Yeah, no. When I was watching you, it was like you were so relaxed. It just felt like, you know, we was at home.
Almost. I can get super like I could be really, really fluid in about half an hour. But
I mean, you're so tuned in to the sound. It's like it's unreal.
I guess I've been doing it since the golden ages, I guess.
Yeah, well, listen, Q, we'll have to wind it up soon because I only get like a time limit on this thing.
No problem.
But listen, I absolutely salute you, and you've inspired so many other DJs out there. You know, you're absolutely incredible.
Just having fun. You know, we all got it in us to have a good time with our art. So might as well find that. It's an amazing thing.
No, without a doubt. And listen, anybody watching this interview, please subscribe to this channel. Press the subscribe button. And I've interviewed DJ Too Tough from the Tough Crew. I've interviewed.
Oh, it's my boy.
Yeah, Too Tough. Yeah, big shout out to Too Tough. I've interviewed DJ Cash Money. I've interviewed Cutmaster Swift, DJ Pogo, Public Enemy, Man Parish.
What? Man Parish?
Man Parish, yeah.
Where's he from? Where the hell is he from? That guy's a mystery to me.
Yeah, no, he's from stateside. Listen, I'll send you his interview and watch it because it's an incredible story.
Dude, Man Parish is the shit, bro.
Yeah, it's a really, really incredible story. So you'll love that. I'll send it to you, Q, on a text.
Man, thank you. And then we're gonna start our YouTube channel, Thud Rumble YouTube. It's just getting started now, so subscribe to that if you guys are listening. Subscribe to my Instagram at DJ QBert. Yeah, and we're starting a Twitch too at DJ QBert on Twitch.
Q, what I'll do in the description link at the bottom in this YouTube description, I'll put the links in there so people can click on them and go straight through.
Yes, yeah. If they want to buy something, go to thudrumble.com or djqbert.com. I got a new album coming out. It's we did a movie called Wave Twisters a long time ago, and now we're doing Wave Twisters 0, which is all the origins of the characters. So there's 9 free tracks right now on djqbert.com or thudrumble.com. You can get all the 9. The first half of the album for free is on there right now, and it's all there where the characters came from and all that. And then the rest of the new 9 tracks will be on the album Wave Twisters 0, the origins, coming out soon.
Wow, I'm gonna go and check that out in a bit. I've just woke up because in London, you know, it's like about 9 o'clock in the morning. So,
woo!
And I know it's late where you are. It's like, what is it, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning?
It's 1:42 over here. It's my lunchtime.
Listen, Q,
1:42 a.m. in the a.m.
Listen, I hope you've enjoyed this interview as well.
Definitely, man. Yeah, thanks. My pleasure. We'll talk again.
No, 100%. And whenever you come to London, I'll take you out in my London black cab and I'll interview you and I'll show you around the sites.
Oh, dope. Yeah, we'll bring my we're making this thing called a photon fader where you could scratch all your digital sounds that are on your iPhone. You can use your iPhone now as a computer, as a laptop, and you can scratch all the sounds with that. And I'll bring my portable turntable with the photon fader. The photon fader got sold out, so everybody who wants to get one gotta wait a couple weeks.
Yeah, no, definitely do that. I'll get you in the back doing some live turntablism.
Yeah, hopefully I got that 30 minutes in and we'll go.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. Listen, Q, stay safe out there.
Yes, definitely.
And listen, hats off to you, my man.
My brother. One love.
Yeah, peace.
Love you. Take care.